As I drove away from the hospital, I felt a slight relief. The past week had been heavy, but now the future seemed uncertain, yet I finally had a direction to move forward. The process server handed Marissa the envelope and took a photo. "You've been served," he said, before quickly leaving the room. "You couldn't even wait until I was out of the hospital?" Marissa asked, her voice full of disbelief. "No," I replied firmly. "You were the one trying to run away. I'm just speeding up your timetable." Marissa's eyes searched mine, looking for something familiar. "Do the girls know?" she asked, her tone shifting. "Yes," I confirmed. "And they're not happy with you right now, which is why they're not here. I'm asking for full custody, but if they want to see you, I'm open to visitation. For now, they don't." Her face fell, clearly shocked by my decision. "I guess you hate me now?" she asked. "Hate is too strong," I replied. "Let's just say my opinion of you has seriously changed." Marissa nodded slowly, taking in my words. "Can you ever forgive me?" she asked, a trace of desperation in her voice. "Maybe someday," I answered, "when I can look at our girls and not see the pain you caused." I paused before adding, "Just so you know, I had their DNA tested. They're mine." Her eyes widened, clearly surprised by my quick actions. "That won't change anything, Greg," she murmured, almost to herself. I shifted the topic. "When you get out of here, you won't be coming home. I've rented an apartment for you. Loretta will help you move in." Marissa turned to look at Loretta, who had stayed silent up until now. "All your things are already there. The utilities are set up in your name," I explained, handing her another envelope. "Here's your half of our joint savings, minus the deposit and 2 months' rent for the apartment. Since your car was totaled, you'll also get an insurance payout." She took the envelope with hesitation. The room grew thick with silence, heavy with the finality of it all. I continued, "By the way, I know about the escape fund you set up. My lawyer has frozen it. If you sign the divorce papers, she'll release the money. Of course, minus my share." Marissa, stunned, replied, "I'll fight you for it." "I wouldn't do that," I warned, "unless you want all the evidence I have to go public. It's pretty damaging." Her defiance faded, and I could see her weakening. "Have your lawyer go over the papers. You'll see they're as fair as possible under the circumstances." Marissa looked at Loretta for support, but Loretta just shook her head. "You should have listened," Loretta said coldly. "You lied to everyone. Greg, your kids, and me." I nodded. "I'll help you move into your apartment once you're out of here, but after that I'm done. You need to fix yourself." Marissa started to cry. "I'm so sorry," she said, her voice shaky as she looked for sympathy. Loretta didn't offer any. "That and a few bucks will get you a coffee," she snapped. "I won't let you near my family again until you make things right, starting with a real apology." Marissa turned to me, her eyes filled with regret. "Greg, I'm so sorry. I know it doesn't mean much, but I do love you." "It doesn't mean much," I replied coldly. "Sign the papers, Marissa." She nodded, overwhelmed. Without another word, I turned to leave. "Goodbye, Marissa." As I left, I could hear the sound of her calling my name, but I didn't look back. Driving away from the hospital, I headed straight to my parents' house. Surrounded by family, I tried to find some peace in a warm plate of my mom's lasagna. The comfort of home helped ease the sting of the day's events. The divorce process moved forward smoothly. 3 months later, I was not only legally free from Marissa, but also relieved to find out that I was HIV negative. Thankfully, the same result for her as well. To my surprise, Gina handed me a check for over $450,000, half of the secret account Marissa had hidden. With no immediate need for the money, I decided to put it into Lisa and Ginger's college funds. Life began to settle into its new rhythm. with me as a single father to 2 teenage girls. Despite the challenges, they kept me grounded. My mom's advice and support were more valuable than ever. Marissa, on the other hand, seemed to be finding her footing as a single woman. After a year of cautious interactions, the girls began to reconnect with her. They spent a nice afternoon together, and according to them, she was doing well at her new real estate job after being let go from her previous one. They said she had changed, shedding her old deceptive ways, but I still wasn't convinced. One evening, Lisa said, "Dad, you need to start dating again. It's not good for you to be alone." I wouldn't even know where to start, I admitted. And I'm not alone. You two keep me busy enough. But Ginger chimed in. "We won't be around forever, you know." With a grin, she added, "It's simple, Dad. Just ask someone out to dinner." That Wednesday, I ran into Rhonda Carson at the church coffee shop. She'd recently given me a casserole, which I'd really enjoyed. "Hi, Rhonda. How are you?" I greeted her, remembering how comforting her dish had been. "Hanging in there, Greg," she replied with a soft smile. "Managing on your own can be tough, huh?" she added, her sympathy clear. As we chatted over coffee, we connected over the challenges of raising teenagers on our own. Feeling a spark, I decided to take a leap. "Rhonda, would you like to have dinner with me sometime? Maybe this Friday?" I asked, a mix of anticipation and nerves building. She smiled warmly. "Yes, Greg. I'd like that," she replied, and just like that, it was a date. The girls were excited when I told them about the date. "Dad, that sounds great," Lisa said, her face lighting up. Ginger added, "Yeah, it's about time you had some fun." They seemed eager to see me happy again, and it made me feel hopeful. That Friday, Rhonda and I went to the Texas Roadhouse for dinner. She looked great in a denim skirt, and we had a fantastic time. Afterwards, I dropped her off at her house. She leaned in and gave me a warm, heartfelt kiss. It felt right, and I couldn't help but smile. As I drove away from Rhonda's house, I felt lighter, like something had shifted inside me. The girls were thrilled about how well the date went, and I was too. Maybe it was time to start looking at life a little differently. Not just for me, but for all of us.